Hey, good morning to my AC3 guys. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. We've been a little laid back this past week. You guys took your test. You guys did really well on it. Quick little update on that. Netflix just started a new show. It's just called Waco. It's actually not a new show. Sorry, it's my cat. It's called Waco. It came out a few years ago. Um, but it's kind of a dramatization of Ruby Ridge and Waco. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but the reviews are good. So if you were into Ruby Ridge and Waco and that kind of stuff, if you have Netflix, check it out. It's just called Waco. All right. Quick other update. We still got about 6 chapters to get through before the end of the year. So what we're going to do is kind of put our foot on the gas a little bit and try to get through 1 chapter a week. Okay. Now, I haven't forgot about 90s and 2000s Name That Tune. I'm still trying to figure out a way to do that for you guys, whether it's Zoom or some other way. But I'm going to do my best to figure that out to where we can still play Name That Tune because I know some of you guys were studying up on your 90s music. So I'm going to do my best to where we can still get that done. All right. But today we're starting our next chapter. It is on a very controversial president. No, not Donald Trump, but one we had in the 90s. His name was Bill Clinton, and it's an interesting chapter. Not a lot of people are in the middle on Bill Clinton. And what I mean by that is you don't hear people say, hey, what did you think of Bill Clinton? He was okay. He was all right. They either love this guy or they absolutely hate this guy, all right? I bet you guys have people in your family that love Bill Clinton, and I bet you guys have people in your family that hate Bill Clinton, all right? It's not he did some good, did some bad, yada, yada, yada. No, they love him or they hate him. All right. Now, if you go into your teams and you check your files, I already have a file up there for Bill Clinton for you guys, and it has the notes. Today, we're only going to go over the first section of those notes. So today's going to be the quickest of the days. Quick rundown. We're going to do some notes today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. On Thursday, I'm going to send you guys out a review guide, and then on Friday, I'm going to post your test for the Bill Clinton chapter, all right? And that's kind of the way we're going to go the rest of the year as far as trying to get through things. After this week, it's going to be OJ, and then after that is going to be Columbine. OJ is a little bit longer than Columbine, so we're going to figure out day-wise, how we're going to get that done. But if you want to pause me for a second and open up your PowerPoint notes for Bill Clinton, we're going to get started just on the introduction part of it, all right? Okay, so you see the first slide just says Bill Clinton. Second slide is a picture of his face. Bill Clinton, how are you? That's my Bill Clinton impression. Sorry, especially if any parents are watching that. I do that impression all the time. It's not the best. I'm sorry. Doing the best I can. All right, early life. Bill Clinton grew up in a little town called Hope, Arkansas. Now he uses that in his campaign in '92 to help him because of the name. He always talks about how he was from Hope, Arkansas, and then when he is done with his speeches, he always says, and remember one thing, I still believe in a place called Hope. And people loved it. People absolutely loved it. They thought it was a fantastic thing. Definitely helped him out. All right. His birth name, however, was not Clinton. All right. His name was William Jefferson Blythe. And his father, Mr. Blythe, died before Bill was born. Okay, so he never met his father, and his mother ends up going on to marry a man with the last name Clinton, and Bill ends up taking his last name. Bill talks about his stepfather a lot. He was abusive for a while. He was an alcoholic. And he would gamble a lot, and he would abuse his mother. Sometimes Bill, but his mother a lot. And one day Bill stood up to him and said, you're never going to do this again. You're never going to hit my mother again. You're never going to talk to my mother that way again. And from that point on, his stepfather started getting help. Now, you would think, when you grow up with an abusive father who is an alcoholic, gambling money away and all this stuff, that you would maybe grow contempt for him. But every time Clinton talks about his stepfather, he just says he was a good man with flaws, that we all have and we all have to deal with, but he was a good person. So that was his childhood. During his high school days, he played the saxophone. and he briefly thought of a career in music. Now, when I say he played the saxophone, whenever he's running for president in '92, there was a late night talk show called the Arsenio Hall Show, and it focused more on the younger crowd. You had the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson at the time. It was more middle-aged people. Same thing even with David Letterman. But Arsenio Hall really looked for the younger demographic. And Clinton takes advantage of this, which we're going to get into later. And he plays the saxophone on the Arsenio Hall Show. He's not great. He's okay. Nothing special. But it resonates with young voters, which is something that really helps him out throughout. Okay, that's a picture of him there as a young boy on the next slide. He kind of looks like Conan O'Brien, if you ask me, but either way. So college and law school. Bill Clinton ends up going to 3 different colleges, graduates from all of them. I don't want you to think he fails or anything, but just make sure you keep these in mind for the test. All right. First one he attended was Georgetown University. There may be a bonus question on your test on Friday, and that bonus question is going to be, in what city is Georgetown University? So look it up. Think about it. All right. Quick note on Georgetown University. It's where the movie The Exorcist was filmed. Okay. Now, while there, he won a Rhodes Scholarship to study in Oxford. Now, does anyone know where Oxford is? Very good. It is in England. Now, there was some controversy with this, especially when he ends up running for president. Now, what would be controversial about this? The Rhodes Scholarship is a huge award or a huge scholarship to be able to study in England. It's a great thing. Well, it was happening during Vietnam, and it was happening during the time he was going to be drafted for Vietnam. So when he ends up running for president in '92, a lot of people say, you only took that scholarship to get out of Vietnam. You didn't want to go. You didn't want to fight. And he admits he didn't want to fight. He says he didn't want to do it. He says he didn't want to go, but he wasn't avoiding the draft. If his number got called, he was going to go. But fact of the matter was, he got offered a Rhodes Scholarship, which is prestigious, and of course he took it. All right. Totally legal what he did. There was nothing illegal about it. There was nothing that said he evaded the draft or anything with that, but it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, especially in the election, which we'll get into. While in college, if you look at the next picture, he ran for student government, which isn't a big deal. People do it. You guys, some of you do it with high school. The problem was when he was in college, and it's not really a problem, it's just a little odd, he would openly campaign to be part of the student council or student government, where other people would be like, yeah, hey, I know Susie, I like her, I'm going to vote for her, and she'll, say, hey, vote for me, we'll, do good things for school. He would be standing outside of lecture halls campaigning, be like, hi, I'm Bill Clinton, and if you elect me for student council, I'm going to make this a great school year for you. And he would always do it. He would always be campaigning, which was a little odd, but he did win. All right. Finally, his third and final school, he goes to Yale Law School. Shout out to Mrs. Ashmore. That's also where she went. You really make sure you remind Mrs. Ashmore that she went to the same college as Bill Clinton. But anyway, when he was there, he was in the library. And when he was in the library, he saw a young woman there. And kind of looking at her, she was looking at him. And eventually, she was the one that went up to him and started talking to him and started a relationship. And you guys may know her as Hillary Rodham. And she ends up going on to be, obviously, Hillary Rodham Clinton. After only dating for 1 month, Bill proposes to her, and they were married in 1975. And if you look underneath, you see the 2 pictures of them there. A little scruffy in his college picture, but and then the picture below that is obviously a picture from their wedding. Okay, from that point on is when his political career really starts taking off, and that's what we're going to start getting into tomorrow. Okay, so this was just an introduction of those notes. You can look ahead if you want to jot some stuff down or get more familiar with it. Whatever you want to do, it's totally fine by me. But this was just the introduction today. All right, tomorrow we're going to talk about his governorship, early parts of presidency. Wednesday we're going to talk about his impeachment and some legacy things. And then Thursday I'm going to give you a study guide. Friday will be your test. All right, if you have any questions, not sure about anything, having a hard time reading the PowerPoints, whatever it may be, shoot me a message on Teams. One thing I will say to you guys, I was having this issue with AC2. If you send the message in the group chat, I will see it, but I don't get a notification on it. So I may not be able to reply right away. especially if your class isn't up on my computer. But if you send me just a regular chat just to me, it pops right up on my phone immediately, so I know I'm getting the message. Doesn't mean not to put a message on the group chat because you may have a question that other students have. But if it's a specific question that you need answered, if you message me directly on Teams, I get the notification. I'll be able to respond immediately. All right, guys, have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.